Toastmasters will teach you how to be a good speaker, but it won't teach you how to be a great speaker. In his presentation tonight, Jim will teach you the two-step process to becoming great. Not only a great speaker, but in being great in almost anything you do. So please put your hands together and help me welcome ATM Gold, Jim Barber.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. My fellow Toastmasters, our most welcome guest, Kay. A couple of weeks ago, Janet gave a presentation on being great. She was referring to being great in the gym, but she also said that that could apply, the same attitude generally would apply across the board in real life. Tonight, I'm going to springboard off of that, and I'm going to tell you how to give a great speech. And that I think you can use the same principles to go into being great pretty much in anything in life. But I will talk about, since this is Toastmasters, I will talk about giving a great speech. That's a little premature for some people, as you'll see, but that's okay. You'll know where we're headed. It's a two-step process, as I indicated in the introduction. The first step is pretty obvious, and it's very easy also. It's actually 3 sub-steps to the one step. First sub-step, 1A if you like, learn the rules. Toastmasters has a lot of rules. They have a lot of rules. Who you address, what order you address them in, what you do with your hands while you're talking, where do you move around, what do you say ums and ahs, when is it okay, never, and so on like that. Learn the rules. Second sub-step, and as I say, this is not hard, this is not rocket science. Follow the rules. Learning the rules is great, but if you don't follow them, you're not accomplishing anything. But you're going to spend an awful lot of time thinking about those rules. And that's what's going to tie you up in the first few speeches that you give, because you're thinking about all the things that you're not supposed to be doing. And then you're thinking about all the things that you should be doing. And you're not going to be thinking about your speech. That's okay, because you do it often enough. And the third sub-step of step 1 is to make it a habit. So you don't have to think about it anymore. You don't think about minimizing your ums and ahs. You just don't say them. You don't think about what to do with your hands. You just let them go naturally. And that's it. That's step 1. It's really not hard. Learn the rules, follow the rules, make the rules a habit. And you do that, and you will be a good speaker. A good, solid speaker. But you won't be a great speaker. Now that could be okay. Maybe you don't want to be a great speaker. But if you do, there's a second step to the process. This one doesn't have any sub-steps. It's really very straightforward. One thing. The rules that you learned in step 1, break the rules. That's it. Break the rules. Now, however, it needs some clarification. You don't break all the rules. That would be chaos. Don't want to do that. Don't break all the rules. Only break certain rules. 1 or maybe 2 rules. And here's the thing. You have to know which rules to break. And you have to know when to break them. Because if you break the wrong rule, even if it's at the right time, it isn't going to work. If you break the right rule, but it's at the wrong time, that isn't going to work either. You've got to break the right rule at the right time. But if you do that, you will be great. I'll give you an example. About 20 years ago, Toastmasters was holding its international speech competition. which for our newest members will be starting in that early next year for the 2023 thing. It starts at the club level and it works its way up through a number of eliminations. They did the same thing back then. About 3,500 Toastmasters began the competition. 6 or 7 months later, it was narrowed down to 10. 10 speakers were competing to be the best Toastmaster speaker of that year. Can you imagine the pressure that is on those 10 people? I mean, they were all good, but only one could win. One of them, Darren LaCroix, got up to give his speech. Now his speech was on, ready for this? When you fall down, be sure to get back up. Wow. For those of you wondering, how do I write a great speech? That was his speech. When you fall down, get back up. Big deal. But here's the thing. As he was giving his speech, as he was talking about falling down, he fell down on the floor. Now, that was a great use of body language, but that wasn't the winning thing. I've seen Daniel Koffler do that. He did that a few years ago. He talked about falling down. He actually fell down. Well, that was good, very good. But what Darren did next is what was special. He continued speaking, lying on the stage, talking to the floor. Now, you don't do that. That's breaking every rule in Toastmasters. You don't talk to the floor. You establish eye contact with the audience. You don't do that on the floor. But he did. And he won. He knew the right rule to break at the right time. In real life, Steve Jobs is another example of doing that. Apple computers. The first computers, everybody was churning out the same computers. They looked like something that was just cobbled together, nothing special. And Steve Jobs said, no, I'm going to produce a computer that is a work of art in addition to being a computer. Nothing was the same after that. Steve Jobs knew which rule to break and when to do it. And that, my fellow Toastmasters, is a secret to being great and to giving a great speech. Learn the rules, follow the rules, break the rules. And that's it. Have fun. Mr. Toastmaster.